Just a few short weeks and one potential world wars ago, Google unveiled Veo 3, an impressively dystopian AI video model. Now, the ever-growing scope of what AI can do has now reached that realm of passive hate that most of the things corporations and governments inflict upon the populace occupy. But there was something strange about this particular demo. Normally, these AI video model demos are geared toward advertisement, which seems likely to be the first video-centric industry completely shit-canned by AI, but this model seems to have a particular focus on mimicking content creators. Now, everybody on YouTube, especially smaller creators like me, should have rut-row-raggied at the sight of this, and in fairness, quite a few did. But I haven't seen anybody talk about the biggest implication of this reveal that I'm going to discuss today. What better way to celebrate my channel just now reaching monetization than by most likely getting it shadow banned along with my IP? Please like and subscribe to see it in real time. So there's this channel, a very obviously AI channel, where it's like Sasquatch doing vlogs and shit. Because I do not support the use of AI in the creative space, I have selected the do not recommend this channel option. I have selected that option for this channel 9 times. It keeps coming back, and it's not the only one. Several of those AI channels, all different subject matters, adjacent to something I might watch under regular circumstances, no matter how many times I hit don't recommend this to me, or don't recommend this channel, there it is in my feed. And the thing is, I don't exactly watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I spend even less time scrolling the feed. I have kind of a dedicated list of people that I watch for the most part. So for me to see it to this degree means it has to be showing up on almost every scroll through for anybody else who's looking on YouTube right now. At first I was like, some of these are different channels doing the same thing. So I picked one called Bigfoot Adventures or some shit. I'm not trying to advertise them, so I'm not going to tell you the exact name. And yep, specifically that one, back over and over and over again. Now, I can't prove this, so we're stepping into the realm of wild speculation here, although I think most of you will agree that this does not sound far outside the realm of possibility. I think a lot of these AI channels are Google-sponsored or are created by Google themselves. Now, why would they do this? There's a line of talentless AI hacks just waiting to prompt up some slop to print money. What does Google stand to gain? And the answer, as it damn near always is money. YouTube runs on AdSense, which is basically Google's ad auction system. Advertisers bid for ad space on videos like yours or mine, and Google pockets about 32% of whatever they're willing to pay. The rest trickles down to the creator. That is, if your video isn't buried, demonetized, or quietly swapped out for some AI-generated dog shit that YouTube doesn't have to split money with at all. The more a creator earns, the more Google has to share. Now, of course, this is a screenshot of somebody else's AdSense because your boy ain't making shit. But if Google owns both sides of the equation, the ad and the content, then they keep everything.
Excellent.
Aside from that, what's the #1 source where people hear about the fucked up things that YouTube is doing in the YouTube sphere? From the creators. Excellent. High five, Sasquatch. Now, I was on the fence somewhat about whether or not they'd try to do this. After all, this kind of shit's already been attempted to, by and large, incredibly poor reception by several content creators already, including the now infamous Quebble Cop. But then, something else gave me that tingly feeling that lets me know when some corporate bullshit is about to happen. My slop sense is tingling. YouTube's own Elon Musk, Jimmy Donaldson, aka MrBeasts, released an AI thumbnail creation platform for generating viral thumbnails. Now, I know Jimmy isn't directly affiliated with YouTube beyond that of a standard content creator on paper, but I'm going to continue this train of thought under the assumption that those watching weren't in fact born yesterday. In Jimmy's whack-ass little theft engine, there are 2 methods he could have used to make it to where you can enter a YouTube URL for inspiration in order to make a thumbnail. He is either 1, using YouTube's official API, or 2, scraping YouTube for data in some way, which is against YouTube terms of service. Given that Jimmy is an elite masking psychopath, businessman, it is unlikely that he's doing something that would negatively impact his standing with Google. Even more likely that Google is aware of and supports what he's doing. Now, technically speaking, he could be doing some gray area form of generative mimicry, where it's not truly using the images from the channel directly for training. Maybe his software takes a screenshot, generates a text prompt from that screenshot, then uses that prompt to generate a new image. I don't know. Point being, YouTube is likely very aware of and fully in support of whatever it is that he's doing to do this. Now that it's been horribly received, though, it does remain to be seen whether or not they'll claim to be aware of it. So yeah, maybe they'll walk it back. Maybe MrBeast thumbnail grifter bot will get memory hold like Kwebbelkop's generator. But even if they do, it won't be because they're done. It'll be because the rollout failed. And trust me, they'll be back with something subtler, something slicker, something a lot harder to laugh at. So let me spell this out. They are seeding the battlefield. They're not going to flood your feed with AI slop, not yet. They're starting off in this funny, haha, goofy AI sphere because that's just a little pinch of normalization. A small hole that they're gonna pick at until it's a window, then a doorway, and then a forest. Oh, Jesus, it's Sasquatch again. They know you won't switch from Jacksepticeye to Steve Sewerfoot overnight. Also, shout out to Sean for continuing to be too real for this platform. They know that you'll recognize cheap imitation in this era where it's still pretty distinguishable, even outside of the fact that the content itself is shit. What they're counting on is that eventually, like all the other bullshit that corporations have shoved down our throat over time, you'll just lose the will to fight and give in. Just put down the sword and watch Mark Divider's 3-hour 6 Nights at Debbie's video. This is far from YouTube's first foray into trying to replace the human element of YouTube with advertiser-safe corporate crap. And unfortunately, the previous attempts have largely succeeded. Between YouTube and TikTok, a form of newspeak has essentially been created to appease advertiser whims with words like unalive and now becoming part of the global vocabulary because reality is too yucky for people selling the latest AI scam. They've been dangling the monetization carrot, forcing creators to tailor their content to the whims of advertisers for quite some time, to the point that demonetization has become like a boogeyman among the creator sphere. People generally don't care about this because they only see this in relation to Moist Man or other extremely successful creators, but to the smaller ones, this can mean the difference between getting to make videos this month or needing to pick up a triple shift at Denny's. The sad part about this is that I love YouTube. I grew up with YouTube. As someone who wasn't a really big TV show person in my teenage years, I grew up with Markiplier and Jack and all these people who are, let's face it, probably pretty close to retirement and won't be on the front lines of fighting this problem. I love how much free education is available on YouTube. I love people like Mini Minute Man calling out pseudo-archaeology, conspiracy theory bullshit. I love Meat Canyon, Bugs Bunny, Dallas Soup, and the Shoobity Bob. I love what made this platform, the people on it, which is why I think we should fight to protect it from its corporate overlords. Now, I'm not saying you should do anything nefarious or questionable to fight back. I'm not saying that you should click on the AI-generated video and then immediately leave YouTube. 1 second or less of watch time. That's like YouTube's most paid attention to metric. If your video makes people leave YouTube, it's not going anywhere. I'm not saying that you should create some sort of macro or auto clicker that sets a VPN connection in a particular location, opens an incognito window, then clicks an AI video and then leaves YouTube, then closes out the browser, changes VPN location, and starts that process over again. I'm not saying that you should coordinate this in a subreddit and create an ongoing list of AI-centric channels in an effort to turn a human-coordinated botnet against the growing stew of slop. I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm not saying that you should spam report these channels in a similar coordinated manner for impersonating people. I mean, it is in fact impersonating something, right? It's in fact pretending to be something that it isn't. That's not my fault, right, Google? I'm definitely not saying that you should do that. What a scoundrel you would be to do something like this. I'm not suggesting that you should train your own models on the patterns that promote or suppress content visibility visibility on these platforms, then feed that data into a network of coordinated agents, human or otherwise, to algorithmically assassinate AI-generated trash through poor metrics before it gets a chance to take off. That'd be so mean. They work hard on those prompts. Better yet, I'm definitely not suggesting that a browser extension or software be developed that catalogs AI content in public forums like YouTube and Facebook and allows for filtration of that content. Since all of these platforms seem unwilling to provide such an option, I'm definitely not saying that we should do that.